Announcing the world release of the Wood Gasifier Builder's Bible on September 15, 2014. Learn the lost art of turning wood into motor fuel using tree branches from your own property. Power your life through any crisis in total comfort. Cut your energy bills or just go off the grid completely. Today we have a special sneak peek of the book, build footage, and demonstration of the gasifier in action. Now, meet the author, Ben Peterson.
Hey guys, Ben here. It's coming, the Wood Gasifier Builder's Bible. If you don't know who I am, my name is Ben. I built all sorts of these wood gasifiers. They're just a super cool technology. And what I did is I took just the gist of everything that's good and simple and works, and I put it in a step-by-step design that takes the classical gasifier design and pays it full homage, but brings it forward, makes it modern, makes it better. It's nice, and it's DIY simple, DIY pricing. I've progressed my work, kind of beyond the DIY scape, so that's not where I'm at right now, full disclosure. But I did want to leave something really awesome behind. And so if I wanted to build a gasifier for next to no money, this is the gasifier I'd be building for myself. It's a little tricky to build a really good wood gasifier, especially when you're starting out. There's not a lot of great step-by-step how-to information for a modern build. And technology has popped up time and time again to save mankind, in our darkest hours during World War II, during the Great Depression, when we were industrializing, wood gasification was right there with steam, helping push that. So we wouldn't be where we are today without it. In fact, some of the first spark-ignited vehicles were made to run on wood gas, town gas, hydrogen gas, whatever. There's lots of different names for it. It's like the secret energy with 1,000 different names. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to put my knowledge in here and pass this down, make this available to you, so you don't have to scrape and struggle and go through any of the frustration that a lot of people go through and spend the extra money. I know there's free plans out there, but time and money wise, it actually costs more in the end to use free plans. I started that way myself. You're welcome to go that path if you like, but for $50, it's kind of a no-brainer. Even if you can't build one right now, this is the type of book you want to have on your shelf. This will be worth its weight in gold in the future. I can almost guarantee you that. I remember when I became a wood gas believer, it was the winter of 2008. It was the worst winter you've ever seen in the Northwest. Everything in my area was flooded, the freeway was closed, and it froze over. We had no power, no water, can't get to the gas station. The gas station couldn't even pump gas if they wanted to. And it was really like one of those storms of the century. You see on the news, it's always happening to somebody else. And it happened to us. And what saved my bacon, and like I said, what made me a believer was I had this, gasifier contraption. I'm about a year and a half into it at this time. And it's making, pretty good gas. And I had this old Lincoln welder generator. And I had that thing fueled up, and sure enough, I was able to power, heaters. I was able to power my shop during the day. And since I couldn't go anywhere to get fuel, I literally only had wood. I had piles and piles of barn wood. And that was the right tool to have it at that exact moment. After that, I was hooked. I was like, I don't think I've spent a day not doing this since, because it was such a powerful experience.
So, what is a wood gasifier? Well, what it is, it's your own personal refinery. But instead of refining crude oil like the big guys, we refine wood into a really nice biohydrogen gas. So that's what a wood gasifier is. They've been around for about 150 years in some form or another. So what are you going to do with all that gas? You can make so much really nice, high-quality gas. What are you thinking about doing with it? So how does this thing work? It's a great question. It works on a process called thermal distillation, meaning when you heat things up, they change phase from a solid to a liquid to a gas. And so what a wood gasifier does is it just phase shifts the wood when it's cut to the proper size like you saw in that picture, and phase shifts it into a really high quality gas. What's really remarkable about the way this process works is that deep inside the machine there's all this charcoal being formed, and there's air jets blasting into it. And it creates a singularity, this hot point of energy, that's 2,000 to 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit. And so it's really changing the molecular chemistry of things at that temperature as the gas passes through. It's a very clean distilled gas. It's really amazing. So here's the quick history on wood gasification. There were some experiments going back to the 1600s, but in about 1859, I believe it was, Siemens patented a really stout commercial gasifier design, and that's what really kicked it off. By the turn of the 1900s, there were about 12,000 gasifiers in North America. They powered America through the 20s. When the Depression came, wood gasifiers were powering people all over the world. And then after that, it was World War II, where 1 million gasifiers strong were installed and operating all sorts of stuff: tanks, cars, factories, you name it. Anywhere they would have used petroleum, they had a wood gasifier. Had a nice resurgence in the 70s, and just here again recently with the financial collapse in 2008, again renewed interest. It's one of those cool technologies. It's always there waiting for you. But since the emergencies that people are responding to are several decades in between, the knowledge tends to be lost in between cycles. And so one of the things I wanted to do with this book was to put all that knowledge there so you didn't have to repeat all of my struggle and mistakes.
So the World War II gasifiers are known for saving the continent and doing lots of great stuff, but they also had some design issues as well. One of them is, they bled off a lot of heat. And they had to do that because they were limited on space and weight and resources. But it's really a good idea, instead of bleeding that heat off, because those gasifiers were as hot as a wood stove, we've actually insulated this in several different ways to capture that heat so we can convert the wood even faster. Another issue they had was bridging. The feedstock would get stuck in this area because the oils would release and then the wood would stick to it. So by running this hot gas around the outside here, we're melting off any oils and allowing everything to turn into charcoal so much sooner that it's actually able to convert into higher hydrogen, and it really eliminates a lot of that bridging, that's fuel not falling down. Another thing it does is it allows us to tackle wetter fuels. Some of the World War II gasifiers were known for only being able to run wood-dried, oven-dried wood blocks, and that's not known by everybody, but some of those designs were really made just for oven toasted wood. We added a visual monocle there so you can see inside, which is a nice feature. Kept a nice simplified filtration that's common. And we've installed an automation control box that controls our suction blower and our grate motor timing. Another challenge of the World War II designs was the grate would plug up with ash. What we have is an automated grate that just gently sifts the ash through and makes everything flow really nice. The World War II designs, some of them had hand crank suction blowers. Not the ideal way to start. With this nice robust 12-volt blower, this thing has a lot of suction, so it gets the machine started up very quick.
And of course, the engine air mixing controls were pretty basic back then as well. A lot of manual adjustments were made in the cab. Now we have some really nice automation stuff. And the ninth issue you get from a World War II era gasifier is tar. It's very possible that the oils you're breaking down don't get broken down fully, and so some of the oils get burnt up in the process and they're turned into tars, and those tars can foul your intake valves in your engine and whatnot. And so by addressing all of those problems in this design and going through and systematically eliminating them, it's made for a design that's very, very, very clean. So you can really appreciate that. All right, so now let's have a look in the Wood Gasifier Builder's Bible and see how this thing was built. We've got some schematics there for you. We've got layouts and a lot of just big photos, very simple instructions that take you step by step, using just local parts for the most part. Try to make it just as simple and obvious as possible. It's quality, it's nice thick metal, it's going to last you a while. But when this is done, you'll have an asset. If you follow these instructions, you'll have an asset. You can see there's part sketches in there. Here's some of our table of contents. Lots of different assemblies in there, so we take you through each one. Got tricks of the trade. how to get your machine built for cheap. There's some good wisdom in there too.
So if you get the book, read the book, follow the book, you get one of these. Look at this beauty. This is totally classic Imbert, redone with better insulation, better heat dynamics, automation. I put a Victory grate on here, one of my really nice grate designs. It even has like a really nice viewing port here. Great heat exchange setup. It's built on a frame, and so you can roll it around. I just put wheels on it. Simple automation. The relay is probably about $100 to get the intelligent little brain for that. It's rock solid. This is just from the book. You too can make really nice wood gas. I know you want to see this thing fired up. I want to fire it up for you. So let me go get a torch and some marshmallows. So if you look inside there, you see it's just starting to warm up. You see that molten orange, and that's our little sun forming in there. All right, this should be ready to light up. All right. Okay.
What? I'm roasting.
Looks good. So we got this thing fired up. I don't know if you can see the flame very well against the white background, but it's a nice tall flame. Ends right about there.
Here tall.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah. Look at that. Nice, steady, clean gas from wood. It's so cool. What could you do with clean gas in your life? You could power engines, tractors, bug out vehicles, backup generators, water pumps. You could heat your greenhouse, heat your home, heat your barn. There's a lot of cool stuff, and the byproduct of this is activated carbon, which you can actually use to filter your water. You can eat it, and it actually will help pull toxins out of your body. So there's, this is the #1 asset to own in any situation. I mean, you have your own private, distilled gas, natural gas well right here. It is super cool. This is the #1 question I get asked is, how do I convert an engine? All right, so when we're converting an engine, we have first our engine and our engine intake. Then we have a supply of clean gas. And so now what we need to do is we need to bridge those two things with some sort of carburetor, some way of mixing the air and the fuel to the perfect amount for the engine. So the brute simple approach is to run your clean gas to a pipe. That pipe runs and mates up to your engine intake. And then you tee in with another section of smaller pipe, and you put a butterfly valve there. And then you can choose the air-fuel ratio, get it set, and you'll find a sweet spot, and you can get engines to run. It's brute simple and basic. Obviously you can hook up some linkage to it, so if you're in a tractor or in a truck or somewhere, you can modify it while you're driving. So it's rock solid, it's low tech, it works. All right, so this is more of our traditional off the shelf. This is a total air fuel ratio management system by Governors of America. And this is a great setup, but it's limited to the engines that they produce it for, and so it's really like a 4-cylinder 25 kilowatt Kohler genset would be the minimum for this, which isn't a bad deal. But it controls the engine throttle, and it also controls the gas flow, and so it's a total thing. About $1,500 for this. Pretty long lead times, kind of challenging to put together, but it's definitely an option that's out there. All right, and if you don't want to do one of the first two options, what we did here was a custom setup, and we did this for the conversion workshop. All we did was we took an O2 sensor from a vehicle, we take the voltage output from it, and we run it into a little Arduino microprocessor. There's a little piece of software written, and then it just takes that code and directs this servo motor here to adjust the air control valve, and it meters the airflow and the air fuel ratio automatically. Works awesome. And you can update the code, you can do all sorts of stuff. So I'm looking forward to see what people do with this. So we did this as a part of our full conversion. We put it together in this book, the Electronic Carburetor Workshop. That's going to be coming out real soon. Might even be out by the time you watch this video. And it answers those tough questions about how to hook up your free gas system to your engine. And we make it just as easy as possible. Let's come check out some build footage from the workshop. I think you're really gonna like it when you see it in action. Question, what does it cost to build or buy one of these machines that you've seen in the videos? So basically this machine cost me about $1,500 in parts. And that's with all the tweaks on it. The simple version was about $1,200, and that was buying new tanks and stuff. If you could find, some old recycled tanks, you immediately save $200 there. It's conceivable you could maybe get down to $1,000 if you're really, like scrounging. If you had some scrap metal, maybe even a little less. If you have the parts cut, you want to add, maybe another $800 or $1,000. If you're having somebody do the welding, you want to add another $1,200 or $1,300. If you're having it done turnkey, you're probably looking at about a $6,000 gasifier. And it's designed and built to be, worth every penny at $6,000. We have the book for you. Hopefully you can just build it, or somebody who can build it. Maybe you can partner up in some way. And $1,500 in materials, you're that close to making free gas. So it's a pretty cool thing, and that's not a huge barrier to entry. We're talking about creating a mini refinery that turns wood into a natural type of gas. It's like your own little wood cartel. You're the OPEC of wood. So if you like this, We have a pre-sale special going on for the book right now. It's the best price it's going to be. It's a great book. Even if you don't use it, the book itself will go up in value. It'll be worth its weight in gold someday, I'm sure. It's very valuable information. So get a copy of the book and we'll see you during the launch. And we got some more good stuff coming for you. Thanks for watching. Bye.